We are here, the second half of the second day at FETC, and we are with Kelly. So, Kelly, Coffee with Kelly is Coffee with Kelly squared right now.
That's right. That's right.
And she is from Jackson County, Florida, and she wants to talk about cyber safety.
Cyber
So,
safety.
what
That's right.
what are your concerns? We are talking about the identification and notification gap in
Yes.
in things. So tell us a little bit about what you do in that sort of space, like we were talking just a little bit ago.
Okay. So basically, I am in IT. So bridging the gap of understanding between physical security and cyber security is my concern. Is that understanding that they are not they're not two different things. That's my biggest concern right now, is just helping people to understand that part of it and help with the education of understand and bridging that gap.
Yeah. So um, we were talking about the identification of concerning messages, concerning behaviors on um, the internet, on social media, on
Sure.
school devices, and so forth. And when we're talking about that identification, it's oftentimes for us difficult for us to interpret the meaning of that communication and the 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 direct link between, in many cases, not all cases, but in many cases, especially as we get more and more connected. And I'm not really sure how we get more connected than we currently are,
We are
but
very connected right now.
right. And I used to say that I can't create technology that is thinking about what you want to do next. And I think I'm wrong there. I think we're getting close to something being planted into my head that can do
I'm
that.
not 100% on that one, Kelly, but AI is definitely there. I mean,
Right.
we see it at this conference, very much
Yeah,
that
and there's
AI is there, and there's so many things that we can't keep up with everything.
there's predictive AI, right? So
That's right.
right.
There's predictive
And,
text, there's predictive AI.
yeah.
But in saying that too, just like we were talking about in the filtering and monitoring of school-owned devices on school campuses, we're also able to help to start bridging that gap between cybersecurity and physical security, and also the security of the person. So the student, the employee, the buildings, the facility, because of filtering and monitoring, protecting our students from outside threats and things like that. So we're able to potentially see those threats and do threat assessments based on what we see in IT with monitors, with filters, things like that.
Right. And what we're talking about really is keyword searches and notifications and so forth.
Sure.
And um, when I talk to people regarding intervention, at what point do we intervene and so forth, and what happens if we miss it and so forth, and having access to filters and systems that allow us to get our notifications that something is not going well for this person for whatever reason. And it could be suicidal ideations, it could be homicidal ideations.
Sure.
And I often tell people that the bridge between suicidal ideation and homicidal ideation is very short. It's a very short bridge to cross. And so that this sooner that we can identify those and make those notifications to where we can have some sort of action plan to, if nothing else, let's just check on somebody. Let's just go out and say, hey, Johnny, how are you doing today?
Yep.
What can we do for you today? And, and sometimes that's all that's needed.
That's right.
Sometimes what is needed is very extensive, but that is the first step.
That's right. That's right.
That's where we look at all of our resources. Mm-hmm. and I tell people, not not bragging about it because this is crazy to me, but I've done threat assessments on first graders and fourth graders.
It's real. I mean, and you're
Yeah,
exactly right. It is. I mean, we are doing it on that lower age than a lot of people even realize. But our goal in IT is to use the technology that is out there to help to take the data, analyze the data, and use that for the threat assessments, for the intervention, to because the ultimate goal is to keep the students safe,
right,
right?
right.
So safety, healthy students, I mean, those are successful
And
students.
support them to become successful
Absolutely.
at the end, right?
Yep.
And um, and there's so many pressures and stressors that are put onto our kids these days,
Right.
and sometimes they just need a little bit of guidance to get on back onto the path, right? And I will say, one of the things that I've began to understand a little bit more clearly, and this surprises me actually, and it really shouldn't, but um, last summer we were contacted to uh, help identify and score um, kids that are at risk for not graduating. So the academic success was in question.
Right.
And so when I started looking at the behaviors that they wanted us to score, I said, those are the same behaviors that are identified in threat assessments.
That's right.
The threat's just different. It's the same behaviors, but the result of the threat is different.
Yes.
And so when teachers, educators, IT directors like yourself say, well, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for this academic success. And I want people to start thinking, well, there's not a big separation between academic success and human
That's right. The human
life
interaction, the
interaction
success in
success.
life
Yeah,
in general.
right.
Yes.
And when we're talking about identifying those threats early, let's also say, okay, this child is at risk for their academic success, but is there a risk for other threats, violence, and those types of things? And that's what I think is important for us to communicate
Yeah,
today.
I think so too.
Yeah. All righty.
Very good. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah. Any other things you want to say before?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay,
Your
you
booth
got
is
your
awesome.
15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's Kelly and Kelly.
Kelly and Kelly. Kelly squared.
Coffee with Kelly and Kelly.
Very good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.